either playing the best move or you're not. So I never think about the opponent in chess.
I'm going to ask you a basic question, but I'm interested. I'm sure everyone else is too here. You mentioned Grandmaster. You mentioned Super Grandmaster. What is a Grandmaster? I was going to say, how do I become one? Not going to happen. But how do you become a chess Grandmaster? And what's a Super Grandmaster? What's the difference?
So a chess Grandmaster is simply somebody who has hit a FIDE rating, so the official international rating of 2,500, and achieved 3 Grandmaster norms. When you have hit Grandmaster, when you have hit 2,500 FIDE rating, as well as these 3 Grandmaster norm things, which you win by playing in tournaments and having a certain performance rating. So, for example, if I play Tournament A, I have a performance rating of 2,650. That is above the 2,600 threshold, which is what I need to get a Grandmaster norm. So, therefore, I have 1 norm. I play Tournament B. It doesn't go as well. No norm, whatever. I play Tournament C. Okay, I did really well. Performed at 2,601. Okay, my second Grandmaster norm. And then let's say I play Tournament D. Played really well again. 2,605 performance rating. Got my Grandmaster norm. I've hit 2,500. Now I'm a Grandmaster. That's how that works. Obviously, the path to getting there is really long and complicated because you have to play all these tournaments. And also, there's a lot of titles underneath the title of Grandmaster. For example, there's International Master directly underneath. There's FIDE Master. There's National Master, Candidate Master. And these are just kind of like ranks in League of Legends, you know? Like, it's literally just ranks. Kind of think of getting the norms as like your promo game. You used to have to win 3 out of 5, basically. And that's like how you would do it for a Grandmaster title. Super Grandmaster title isn't an actual title. It's just like it's thing. Like if you're a really good Grandmaster, yeah, if you're like 20 above the FIDE rating of 2,700, you're considered a Super Grandmaster.
And once you make it to Grandmaster, are you like a Grandmaster? For some reason, I'm thinking like it's like when you become president, everyone always refers to you as Mr. President.
Well, nobody really refers to you by your like title in chess, but yeah, you get this title forever. Like unless you do something to cheat or whatever, you can get downgraded, you can lose it, but very seldom, obviously. So yeah, you just get the title for life, no matter how low your rating goes, no matter how poorly you start playing chess. You have the title for life.
Wow. I mean, we talked a bit about it earlier on about the kind of the digital era of chess and how it's just exploded into a whole other, kind of world the last few years. I mean, it seemed that during COVID, during lockdown, that was the kind of time period when things really became as big as they have done. Online chess. Do you remember that time and how things changed? How the landscape changed of chess, of going kind of from a person to person game suddenly being online, and kind of the streaming aspect and how it just absolutely exploded?
Yeah. I never really, bothered that much with, like, I play chess, but I never really followed chess. I never really watched chess. Like, I was doing this to get into school. So when the pandemic hit and everybody started watching and talking about chess, I became a streamer basically right during that time because I was, ironically, bored at school because we had moved online and I had a lot of free time on my hands. So it kind of like all came together as in a really, really weird way. So I essentially, started streaming and all that stuff. And during the pandemic, Queen's Gambit came out. There was the PogChamps on Twitch. Everybody loved chess. And it really, really changed the chess landscape. Like before then, it was mostly classical chess tournaments. There was like one big World Rapid and Blitz tournament a year. But nobody really played that much online, especially not the top chess players. And then during the pandemic, everybody started playing online, and playing 90 plus 30-minute games of classical chess online would drive anybody mental. Like imagine sitting in front of your computer with like another camera behind you, not being able to do anything because it's chess, not allowed to talk, not allowed to use your phone. You follow when you go to the bathroom in chess tournaments, stuff like that. Like nobody was playing that format. That's the format that's been the most popular for so long. And during the pandemic, all of that changed because you just can't have that format online. So games got a lot faster. The average person developed an interest in watching, chess online. And ever since then, faster time controls have still been quite popular. Not as popular as I would like it to be, We haven't completely gotten rid of the classical chess time control, which I think is just outdated for 2024, my personal opinion. Why does every tournament have to be 6 hour long games? Why can't we have the majority be a little faster? The chess world has changed dramatically.
Streaming as well is it's a whole new, opens a whole new, a big door to a whole new world of, revenue stream for a career as a streamer, as it has done as well here, and kind of really kind of taking you necessarily always have to be at tournaments in person all the time. There's a whole kind of business you've created online from home. Have you found that that's kind of like it's changed your perception of what your future looks like now, the way that things have changed and gone more digital?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with chess, it was never really something that I thought I could personally ever make a living out of. Like, sure, I could grind coaching little kids and stuff like that at schools for, not bad pay. It's like I was doing that during college for like $60 an hour, Canadian. So, it's pennies in US. But anyways, I was doing that and it wasn't bad. It wasn't like bad or anything, but it wasn't very fulfilling. But chess wasn't really something that you could just play in tournaments and like win enough money. There's a few people that try it outside of the top, whatever, that are able to do it for an actual living. But they're not very successful. And you always have to supplement your income with coaching and, doing all this stuff. But nowadays, I would say it's so much easier to make a living off of chess. You don't even have to be that good at chess to, be a content creator, right? It's kind of the whole point of being a content, that you create content. And it's been an interesting conversation, I would say, in chess itself, because chess has always been a game where you can very clearly see who is better. There's no like, oh, maybe that person is a little better than that. But no, like you freaking know, like, exactly how good that person is. You know exactly how good that person is. And it's been a really interesting sort of interesting seeing the navigation for that, because people will be like, oh, you're just a content creator, as if that's an insult. Like, okay, well, I'm also not being forced to play 6 hours of these classical tournaments to win $1,000. Like, yeah. But I think that being said, there is still this mindset in chess that, like, I think the best chess players in the world probably deserve more, get paid more. And I don't think anybody's going to disagree with me on that. And I think it's with the expanse of the chess world, there's a bigger slice of pie for everyone now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you mentioned the Queen's Gambit. We talked about it. Either kind of like when that kind of show hit Netflix, at that kind of perfect time as well. It couldn't have dropped or landed any better, really. That kind of, did you see kind of a real spike in engagement as well after that? We were kind of seeing and thinking, actually, I'm brilliant, because chess is one of those games that I grew up, and it was something that I always played at school. We did like a bit of speed chess here and there, and it was fun. I always really enjoyed the game. Hence on Twitch Rivals, I kind of it galvanized me to get down on my phone, and I'm playing it all the time again now, just to keep my brain ticking over, But I think did you see that there was a real kind of spike in your world as well, kind of the engagement from a wider community because of that TV show?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the chess world basically 100x'd overnight. After that, people still always ask me about the Queen's Gambit. It was crazy.
And do you find as well that you've become quite because being a woman in the sport as well, you mentioned that China, there's a huge kind of all the kind of the female chess players in the world. It seems that that's really the place that is kind of dominating right now. But I mean, do you find you've become somewhat of a role model in kind of some respects as well to other kind of young aspiring chess players, because you've had this journey where you were kind of competing from a young age, you've gone through all over the world to do so. Is there any weight that comes with that too? Do you kind of find that those kind of kids that you would teach and such kind of look up to you, thinking, Nemo, you're my hero?
I honestly, sincerely hope not, because my own personal journey with chess wasn't love. It was out of desire to go to Harvard or something like that.